On the tight end side of things, guys, some not so fun news to kick off our waiver wire is that George Kittle is expected or likely, per Ian Rappaport, to be out 3 to 5 weeks with a hamstring injury, source says, making him a candidate for IR. So there are a lot of fantasy players right now, Matthew, that are going to need help at tight end, are going to need a starter at tight end. And we kick off with the rookie,
and you know who
Harold
fantasy
Fannin.
Players are?
Me
as fantasy players. Because in addition to losing, this is what I get, by the way. This is the fantasy gods sending karma my way. Because of after my 30-minute soliloquy, my TED talk at the start of our draft, bragging about my expertise and the fact that I've dominated you guys for 2 seasons in a row. Xavier Worthy and George Kittle in week 1, plus a loss to Rotopat, who had the highest score in our league. If I'd played anyone else, like
if you'd played me, you would have lost. If you'd played Connor, you would have lost.
By a lot.
If you play other people,
but if I would have played other, like if I played the Lawrence or Denny, some of the others, producer Adam, I think I would have won. Whatever. Fact of the matter is I played the guy that had the highest score in the league, and I lose both Kittle and Xavier Worthy. Not fun for me. Not fun for anyone. I have a ton of Kittle this year. Like a ton of Kittle this year.
Good that first drive as well.
It was a hell of a first drive.
It was awesome. I'll have to hang on that. That'll keep me warm over the next month. But yes, if you need a tight end, and chances are you do, because Kittle was the 3rd tight end off the board and some of that was on the love list. We thought he was a bargain this year. You're going to need a tight end, and it starts, not surprisingly, Connor, with Harold Fannin. Look at the Browns. Look at the Browns with
their rookies.
Philman, the running backs. Now Harold Fannin.
They are making the most of their rookies right here, and we even have a question. We'll get to Fannin in just a second. Edu, correct me if I'm wrong, but Fannin isn't taking over Njoku's role. I think that's a good take. Fannin has a very unique role. Listen to his snap counts here. 3 in the backfield, 29 in-line, which is actually surprising because he didn't play. He's not really an in-line tight end. 16 in the slot, and 6 out wide. So what Kevin Stefanski is telling you is David Njoku at an 86% snap rate, Matthew. He's our true tight end. Harold Fannin is more of this chess piece like he was at Bowling Green that we can move all around, which is great for his target share as well.
It really is. He ran only 10 fewer routes than Njoku, and he saw 3 more targets Fannin did. The thing about Njoku is he's an unbelievable blocker. So, he's never coming off the field.
He's not losing any role.
He's not losing any role. The problem is will he maybe lose a few targets because they have Fannin, because they have Club Set and Jerry Jeudy? They suddenly have more pass-catching options than maybe we would have thought of at the beginning of the season. So, I had Njoku as like a top 7 tight end, and now I'd probably rank him as, a top 12 tight end, still a tight end 1, but lower. But Fannin needs to be a priority on the waiver wire. Honestly, if you have a tight end or if you don't as well. This was something that we talked about and you'd heard in camp, how excited they were at Fannin. And we thought this was coming. I didn't think it was coming week 1.
Neither did I.
And they playing the Bagels, and they were throwing a ton. But still, the skill set is, we've talked about this. We like the skill set coming out of college, Connor. And it's a nice matchup, actually, with Baltimore, who last week allowed the 3rd most fantasy points to tight ends. Kincaid got into the end zone. Was it Jackson Dawes?
Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech blocking tight end.
Yeah, got into the end zone. Anyway.
They played two separate tight ends over 70% of the snaps. That's all you really need to know. This is how they want to play.
This is a trend that's really gaining a lot of steam, too. Yeah. You saw the Raiders do it, Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers. So you're going to see a lot of this around the league. Let's look at some deep league tight end targets in case you can't get Fannin. You always are a big proponent of Brenton Strange, Matthew.
Yeah, listen, it's been said that I like me some Strange. That's Brenton Strange, of course, the tight end for Jacksonville. That's all I'm talking about. Right. So I like Brenton Strange. Look, he led the team in receiving yards. He had 3 targets on the first drive. That's the scripted plays, right?
Yep.
Those are the scripted plays. And so, Trevor Lawrence has traditionally liked throwing to his tight end. And, oh, by the way, he's playing Cincinnati this week. So, yes, I do, in fact, like me some Strange this week. Hey, my guy Jonnu Smith, we talked about it again. It never ends. Again, tell my daughters, find a guy that looks at you the way Jonnu Smith and Arthur Smith look at each other. He had a 20% target share in week 1, tied for 2nd in the week. They gave him a BS. That was one of Rodgers' touchdown passes too. Was
the pop pass?
A pop pass. That's.
But he threw 4 touchdowns.
Oh, threw 4 touchdowns. Yeah. Come on, he handed it off for one of them. But the fact is, Jonnu Smith is going to be out there a ton. How about Juwan Johnson? suddenly the third receiving option for your beloved New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler looked okay. Like, he looked competent out there. Also, he threw an absolute dime to Juwan Johnson to tie the game up with like 6 seconds left. Juwan just dropped it in the end. But I think Rattler showed enough that he's going to at least be able to get these guys the ball, and they're going to run a functional offense.
Yeah, and then in Michael Mayer, just mentioning him, obviously Brock Bowers is the guy there, but like they played Mayer a lot as we talked about sort of these two tight end sets. He played 63% of the snaps. He had a 12% target share again if you're in a deep league, and the other guys are gone.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.